I've pretty much lived my life, especially since my early 30s. I got scammed one time, $50 scam, that if it's too good to be true, it probably is. I guess I'll tell you about the scam. That's how I learned my lesson. I never have made that mistake again. It was 2003. My newly developed consulting business was struggling, and I didn't want to close it down. So what we did was we started mowing grass in town. I think it was $10 a yard we were doing it, and we'd measured out the size of the yard that we would call $10. So it's not like, you know, I had to mow 10 acres for $10, but that's what we were advertising, $10 a yard, and it held us over. That's all we needed. We needed to get through the summer for some reason. All of a sudden, everything in the consulting business started to pick back up. But I was cutting this guy's grass, or this lot. It was a lot. It didn't even have a house on it. And some guy stopped and said, "Hey, you interested in buying a lawnmower?" Craftsman, I got a Craftsman lawnmower. He says, "I'll sell it to you for $50. Runs great. Just pick it up over there at," and it was called Scott's Corner. It was a flea market spot, so it seemed pretty legitimate. I mean, I don't even know what I was thinking. And I thought, well, that's a good deal. So I gave him the money. I mean, there was no lawnmower there. That was just the dumbest thing I'd ever done. So what was I thinking? So learned my lesson. Well, I'm telling you, I'm kind of feeling that right now, pretty badly actually. I'm just as nervous as a cat on a room full of rockers. What is going on in the government right now is absolutely amazing. I am just thrilled by it all. Everything is all the things that I had ever dreamed of is happening. It's just, we're cutting money. I mean, if you go to the US debt clock, and now they have this little counter, the Doge counter, that's telling you how much money we're saving. It's not a lot yet. It's like right today it was 78 billion. But that's $10 billion more than when I started looking just a few days ago, not even a week ago. So it's racking up, it's getting there. And it just seems like every day, well, every morning I get up, I mean, the president must just sit up all night typing out emails. This is what I'm going to do. And then he announces it on his social media platform thing. The thing is I keep saying to myself, or to Carolyn, I guess I'm saying it to Carolyn, is this isn't going to last. The hammer is going to drop. They're not going to give up everything they took from us. They'll call it everything they worked for, but really it's everything they took from us. The USAID exposed their hand. Everybody, the whole world saw it. Hey, I'm going to interrupt this video real quick. I'm going to ask you, if you can, at the end of this video, click the up next box. It'll take you over to the other channel. It's pretty good. I think you're gonna like it. The president said, "Hey, look at this. I can save us millions and millions, maybe even billions of dollars with this program. Let's shut the doors." So he shut the doors, laid off 10,000 employees, kept 247 or something like that, and they just lost their mind. Well, wait, why are you losing your mind for saving money? That seems like a really dumb idea. You're losing your mind for saving money. 79% of the population say, "Hey, that's a great idea." Every poll suggests they're not that worried about saving, you know, whatever is going on overseas right now. We need to save ourselves, and then we can kind of regroup and, you know, worry about the humanitarian things. But they just lost their mind. Why'd they lose their mind? Well, I've said in a couple videos now, it's a money laundering industry. The United States government is a money laundering system using someone else's money. They're not even using their own money. It'd be different if they were selling illegal product and siphoning that money into a business. If you watch Breaking Bad, that'll make total sense to you. Or even the TV show Ozark that was on Netflix. So they buy a business, they funnel that illegal money into the business, and it comes back out clean. But with the government, they're not even doing that. They're taking my money, saying they're going to do things for me with it, send it over to Kenya, And then Kenya sends something back to the politician that said, hey, yeah, we'll give you some money. So they're not going to give that up. You cannot. A trapped animal, a cornered animal, is going to bite. And they're cornered right now. They're being exposed, and their money is going to be taken away from them. They're not going to just sit there and let it happen. You know, the other day, a bunch of congressmen went over to the Department of Education and just tormented that security guard. Well, that's nothing. You got to think about what happened the last time this president was president. They impeached him twice. They convicted him for several things. They prosecuted him for several things. They did everything they could to keep him out of office. Well, this time, he's making matters even worse, or better for us, worse for them, I should say. They're not going to take this lying down. They're just not. Right now, he is doing it so fast, boom, 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 that they can't even react to it. They're just taking punches, one after another, after another. They're just taking these punches. And they're trying to figure out what to do. But when they get organized, I don't understand why people just assume this is going to stick. I don't think it's going to stick. I mean, they're already suing. That's what they do. I mean, I learned this back in the 2000s, that party was going to stop doing legislation. They weren't going to hardly do anything with legislation. They were going to do everything. They were going to change laws through the courts. So that's what they're doing now. The president has written a lot of executive orders doing things, and there is one thing that here's the thing. I think all his executive orders will pass muster at the Supreme Court, but one. There's just one. I don't think he will get that one, and he's even said he doesn't think he'll get that one. But at least it opens up the conversation. So that I agree with that. At least it's going to, should we change the Constitution on this one? And we may have to. So at least it's opening up a conversation. So there's just too much money to be made as a politician to be just letting this guy stop it all. Why do you think they were letting so many people cross the border in the last administration? To keep them in power. Well, now we're sending them all back. That's not going to keep them in power. Think about this. Trump says he's going to take the most dangerous prisoners, our own U.S. citizens, and outsource it to different countries to hold them in custody. It'll save us lots of money. It really will. So they've negotiated prices, and they'll have to figure out how to make this all happen. Well, what do you think, if the Democrats ever get back in power, will happen? They will then start allowing prisoners to vote. All you got to do is look at the reaction and then the reaction. What is the reaction? I've lived my entire life looking at the government, and they'll say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, oh, no, not that. And just the entire time, my entire life, just ripping one little freedom away after another. I think the last one that really aggravated the heck out of me when they said they were going to hire 80,000 IRS agents. I pay so much in taxes in comparison to my wage. I've paid it my entire life. I remember my first tax bill. My very first one, as a private, or as a business owner, I should say. It was $10,000. And I was talking to my neighbor, and he says, and so a lot of my money goes into Social Security. And my neighbor was saying, well, I finally got my Social Security. They wrote me a $10,000 check. And I was like, I just paid this man. I just gave him my money. Of course, he said Social Security. It was disability. He was like, I don't know, he was like 22 years old. He'll never have to work a day in his life. And I'm sitting here just writing checks out, hand over fist, right to him. I was so aggravated. And so my entire life, I always thought Social Security was going to be bankrupt before I ever got retirement. The closer I get to this retirement age, the more I feel a little bit comfortable. I might get something out of it, but I've always thought, I'm just paying in just to be paying in. It's another tax. I'll never get this back. So hired 80,000 IRS agents for what? What are we doing that for? Because they just passed a new law that says that if you make $600 in PayPal, they're going to tax you, and they wanted to audit those people. Well, I don't get money from PayPal, but it was so aggravating. This is the first time the government is doing what I thought they should always have been doing. And it's so fast. Every day, something new. So I just keep waiting for the other foot to drop. I just know something bad's going to happen. I mean, for example, Trump wants to give a severance package to anybody that takes it. If they want it, they can have it. It's a severance package. They'll pay them, and I think up to September. Free money. Just sit around at home, free money, and then after that, you're done. There's no more work for you. And I think 64,000 people has taken this package. Yeah, we'll do it. That's fine. So basically, the government employee said, yeah, I'll quit if you give me a severance package. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to quit and get a severance package, well, as a matter of fact, my last job, I quit. I quit my job, and the company says, we'd like to replace you right away. So I put in my 2 weeks notice. He said, you can stay for the 2 weeks, or we can give you a severance package for 2 weeks, 2 weeks pay, and you can leave today. I'm like, heck yeah, I took it. That was my choice. So what the president is saying is stop working it from home, come into work. If you don't want to come into work, we'll give you a severance package, just let us know. And some judge says, no, you can't do that. You got to wait until Monday before I make my decision on this. What do you mean, make my decision on this? That was the employee's decision. How is a judge allowed to make a decision whether an employee can quit his job? So, I mean, it's already starting. The ridiculousness of it all. It just, there's no money to be made if you're firing people making it. So last night, Trump just announced that he is stopping the production of the penny. Now, to me, this is really good news. I'm really excited about it because it costs more to produce the penny than what the penny is worth. So I don't think he's making the penny obsolete. He's just stopped production on it. So the thing is I don't know, a week ago or so, they said they were thinking about doing this, and I thought, yeah, that ain't ever going to happen, not in my lifetime, because I'm so used to the government just making promises and then never keeping them. But here we are. Penny's been stopped. So hang on to your pennies is what I was trying to think, wanting to say. They may become valuable. Yes, people are going to want them. The reason I brought up the impeachments and the prosecutions and all that, first of all, this isn't going to last long. They're going to stop him. One way or another, they're going to stop him. So that's why he's rolling this out as fast as he can, just one after another after another. And then he'll expect the lawsuits to come, and then he'll fight the next 4 years of these lawsuits. And then, of course, if the Democrats get back in office in the House, which I suspect they will, if they get into the House, everything will stop, everything. They'll impeach him. Now, that's not what I'm worried about. I would imagine that the president knows what to expect. I mean, he's an old man, and he's like, okay, this is my Bon Jovi Young Guns moment. I'm gonna ride into the night, guns a-blazing. That was a great movie. You grew up in the 80s. Emilio Estevez, Billy the Kid. So I would imagine he knows what to expect. But the ones I feel sorry for is his secretaries, the people he has hired to help him do all this. I mean, the richest man in the world is going in there and just ripping out government, one piece at a time, taking their money away, just one piece at a time. He's worth like $500 billion. That'll stop. They'll put him in court case after court case after court case, and they'll just run him out of money. They'll shut down his companies, Tesla and SpaceX. They'll shut them down. That'll be easy to do. All I need to do is get one judge to say, oh no, that's illegal, you can't do that, and shut him down. Run him out of money, and it'll be over. So I feel sorry for those guys. I don't know what they were thinking. There is no way I would work for this president. No way. Well, I guess they're just American heroes. But I tell you, I just keep waiting. I've never thought in my life this would happen. And it really does seem to be too good to be true. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you over to my other channel. I'm going to be working on a lawnmower tune-up. So if I can inspire you, keep the faith so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.